Hello and welcome to Bike India Ignition. I'm Harket and I'm joined by my colleagues Anosh and Zal.
If you guys follow Bike India magazine, you do know that Ignition is our news section, and this series is a similar story.
So we're going to debate the latest news in the bike world and let you know a little bit of what we think about what's going on.
Yeah, discussions will happen, arguments will happen very likely. So let's just get cracking, right?
Yeah.
So the first topic of discussion for today, Anosh.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you went to some exotic land far away.
Morocco, actually.
Yeah, exotic land far away. You know what I mean. So he went and rode the Triumph Tigers there, the new ones, the 900s.
Mhm.
So and now they've been launched in India. So how much have they been launched at?
I think they start at a little over 14 and a half X showroom, is it? And all the way up to actually close to 17 X showroom. For the base on road, the GT variant, now what was the XRs are now the GTs. And the off road variants, we have two. We have the Rally and the Rally Pro. So actually on road, the Rally Pro probably go up to around, I'd guess, close to 19 lakhs.
Yes, just short of 19.
Yeah, just short of 19 lakhs on road, and actually it's a pretty nice bike. And I think that the off-road biased rally bikes are going to be more in demand in our market, with more and more people heading off the road, hitting trails, and just realizing how practical these bikes are, even on our roads.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, our roads are bad enough to count as off-road anyway.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
it makes sense that the off-road versions would be the most popular ones here, and that has been historically the case, I think, from what Triumph have told us in the past.
Although I did speak with someone at Triumph who a sales guy at Triumph, who has been getting a lot of inquiries about the low ride height version of the Tiger GT, which is ridiculously low, which is I think well under 800 seat height.
It's just over 800.
No, it's
right?
well under the low ride height version is well under 800
Really?
Yeah, I can flat foot it, and I'm not that tall.
I thought it was 815 to 830.
No, 810 to 830
Yeah.
is the GT,
Ah.
standard GT. The low ride height version takes that even lower.
Okay, so that's with the special seat
Yeah,
that
so
goes
that's a
lower.
special seat that's lower,
Ah.
suspension linkages.
So that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But
So
Triumph,
how much is the just for a comparison? How much is the KTM 390 Adventure? About 850.
855 mm?
Yeah. So that's crazy. Then less than 800 is like a commuter bike, man.
It is actually. And honestly, KTM 390 Adventure seat height is a bit much for what it is. At 855 mm, it is way higher than even the standard Triumph Tiger. And well, the Tiger is a much larger bike.
Of course.
It is a
Twice
bigger
the
adventure
displacement.
bike. It's twice the power. And it's still just 810 mm. The low, at the standard bike at its low seat setting, and you can go even lower with the low ride height version. But what I'm trying to say is that Triumph aren't bringing the low ride height version to India yet again.
Oh,
Although there's been so many inquiries and so much demand for
That
it
makes
at the
no
show.
sense.
Why would they not do that?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they think they won't sell enough. It is actually quite a hit with the ladies who are getting into riding adventure
Yeah.
bikes, who feel a lot more comfortable getting both feet on the ground. And I think we'll do well here, considering most of us Indians aren't very tall.
exactly. Like we're not Scandinavian, whatever, however you say it. You know where I'm going with this. You know the Norwegian dudes and
Yeah, the big
those
giants.
guys, man, the really tall dudes, like the
Yeah.
Germans and those guys. Yeah. So I'm uneducated. What do you want me to say, man? So anyway, so they're super tall. Yeah, the Vikings, exactly. They're like 6 foot plus and all that shit. So it makes sense that they don't get the super low one,
Exactly,
not Hali
exactly.
super low, but super low.
Well, don't
And the fact that we don't get it, I mean, we're generally very short. So
Average height in India is about 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
The best-selling adventure bike of India is the Himalayan, which people love because of its ergonomics with that
Yeah.
low
Low
seat
seat.
height. So it's just a no-brainer.
well, no brainer. I think covers. I mean, very well explains the decision anyway. So yeah, it was a no brainer in another sense of the word. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, but how is the
On a
how
roll
is the
today.
bike? How is the bike though? Since you rode it in
Oh.
your fancy exotic land in Morocco and
it's
went through
actually
deserts
quite
and
nice.
shit.
It's a big step up from the 800. It's a whole new bike. So it's a little bit lighter. I don't remember how much. It's just a few, like 5, 6, 7, 8 kilograms lighter maybe.
Huh.
But it feels a whole 20 kilograms lighter.
Okay.
Especially when you're riding at slow speeds, maneuvering it, getting it, in a loose surface, maneuvering in a loose surface. It feels a lot more manageable. And the new, I'm not going to get into technical details here, but the new firing order of the 3-cylinder engine now basically spaces out your ignition strokes, basically your power strokes.
Right.
So there's a lot more tractability at low throttle openings, whereas when the old bike felt a little you could say dead, it just rev up really
I
quick.
know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, this one has the tractability. It has a nice connection between your right hand and the rear wheel, which is again a great boon to riding over iffy surfaces. And it still doesn't sacrifice the top end. It still has over 90 horsepower, I think, 95 horsepower, something like that. It has a lot more torque, a lot more available torque down where you're going to be spending most of your time. And well, engine-wise, dynamic-wise, it's great. It's up to the looks now. Some people may not like the looks of the new bike. I personally think
It
it's
looks
a nice...
subjective. I'm sure.
Exactly.
I'm sure video is playing right now of you riding that bike, or at least some Triumph people riding that bike in the ride in Morocco. So you guys can judge for yourselves and maybe let us know in the comments below whether or not you like the looks of the bike. But I think for me, it looks pretty good. I prefer it over the older one. The older one looked kind of bug-eyed.
The older one, it looked nice, it looked industrial, but it also looked a bit dated.
Yeah.
And well, the majority of the buying public wants something new and current.
Of course.
I'm not going to spend the kind of money for something that in their eyes looks a little dated, been around for a while. So I think it's a nice modernization, and while the red GT looks, quite sporty and street worthy, the Rally and the Rally Pro looks a lot more long-legged with those gold fork pipes, longer travel suspension. It looks a lot more rugged, if you ask me.
Right.
And also a lot slimmer. So it's much easier to handle, like I said.
How does it stack up against its competition in that segment? BMW F850 Adventure.
Which you
which
Adventure you haven't ridden, but the
I haven't,
850
I haven't.
Oh, you have
Adventure,
it, yeah,
yeah.
off-road.
Yeah.
When you went for the
Yeah.
GS training academy,
Yes.
right?
Adventure, we have
So-
the KTM 790 Adventure, which none of us have ridden. We also have arguably especially with the price range, the Africa,
Africa Twin, yeah.
So
Well, we haven't ridden the new Africa Twin either. The old one, 1000, was again very nice, very manageable, and I think
he loves.
That DCT, man, it's so
Bus.
sweet.
He
Oh
love-
my god, it's so sweet.
yeah, he likes it. 'cause
Like
it's lazy.
it's stupid, it's effortless. You don't
It
need to
is,
use
it
you can disengage your brain and ride. It's the most amazing thing ever. I want one.
Well,
But
I don't know,
anyway,
I find it.
let's
I find
not
it a bit,
digress.
I find it a little bit boring. It would be nice actually for if you're crossing continents to sit back and relax. But I like the involvement. Having a gearbox, a clutch, and
Right.
come on, that's just me.
Yeah, you're just old school.
The,
that way.
people need to understand that argument right now. Anush is a person who likes to do he likes a bit of madness when he's riding a motorcycle. Harkit likes to do 1,000 kilometers and still be fresh
No
for the
madness.
next day.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
basically
the
what he's
difference
trying to say
between
is that I'm lazy, which
no,
is true.
That's not lazy doing 1,000 kilometers.
I mean, I'm not
what
even
that
going to deny
means
it.
is-
I am lazy.
What that means is the Africa Twin, while a person who just likes to who'll munch miles.
Yeah.
It's a great bike for that person, but one who wants fun will look at one of the other.
And obviously, you look at a manual
motorcycles in the
gearbox.
segment.
If you know
Yeah.
your fun is
Yeah.
a major part of your
Yeah.
riding, and you like to do a little,
But it
a
has
little bit of nonsense.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Africa Twin does have
The Africa Twin does it very well. The DCT is really well sorted, at least on the 1000 that we've ridden. It's really well sorted. You can set it up once you have it set up in the right mode. It will shift when you want it to. You'll always
Yeah.
be in the gear you want to be in.
But and that's the thing for a buyer.
that makes a lot
What
of
are you
sense.
looking for? If you're looking for a motorcycle that you don't want to throw off on the rough stuff, but if you want something to just go on and on and on and on, Africa Twin is a great
Oh,
buy.
yeah.
But if you want to have a little fun, the Africa Twin is capable. But there are other motorcycles that are more inclined towards that.
Yeah, going back to your question about the competition. Well, in the segment, to be honest with, if you're looking at the Africa Twin, you're looking at the 850 GS and the 850 GS Adventure. The Triumph was always the more, road leaning of these bikes because of its motor basically. That is high revving 3-cylinder motor. So at motorway speeds, if you want to, munch miles at
Yeah.
with, good amount of pace, triple digit speeds kind of thing, that always will feel a bit nicer. Whereas the twin cylinder motors of the Honda and
BMW,
the BMW.
KTM now.
Well, we don't have the
We have
KTM
it,
here,
yeah.
so let that be. But those are,
The Tenere that will hopefully be coming here.
let's see. Let's see too.
That our man here is really, really, really looking forward to.
But the thing is, those twin cylinder motors, they have that nice tractability, that torque
Grunt,
of a twin, the
yeah.
grunt of a twin. So they made a lot more sense off road. Plus, the BMW is packaged so well, it holds its weight so low, even though it isn't a boxer, it's an inline
Yeah.
twin, it still manages to give you that really planted feeling, that low center of gravity feeling. While the old Tigers felt a little clumsy
Yeah.
at walking pace, you could say, maneuvering at walking pace or maneuvering over rocks or through loose surfaces, felt a little top heavy. And that's all been sorted out. This new motor has the grunt with its irregular firing order. It is a lot more balanced. Like I said, it feels way lighter than it actually is in the outgoing bike. So definitely Triumph has made those strides to stand with the best in the middleweight adventure bike class.
So I think last year we both rode the 850 GS, the standard one, and the Triumph Tiger 800 back to back in a shoot.
Yeah.
And I think the cover's
Yeah,
up
just
there.
there.
Yeah. Right there, that one.
Right there.
Yeah.
And that there.
I think back then, for me, the BMW was the easy winner based on my riding style and the way I go about it. And that was mostly because of the modern technology and the better suspension and the way how tractable the engine felt. So are you saying that now it's not going to be that obvious a choice?
Yeah, I'm saying that. I mean, my first thoughts when riding the bike in Morocco were that we need to ride these bikes alongside, the GS that we found so better balanced, or the Africa Twin that we found so better balanced, and so much slimmer, and be so much more manageable off road. I mean, they're definitely up there now.
Right.
Triumph's definitely up there now.
So Triumph, make it happen, man. We need the bikes. We need to test them. We need to ride them.
Yeah.
We need to go on a road trip in them.
Loan us the bike.
So yeah, please send us the bike ASAP. And I guess that covers the new Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic, which is the Vespa 946 Christian Dior edition. Now, I was at the Motorplex in Pune for the launch of the previous edition of the designer tie-up Vespa, which was the Emporio Armani edition, and that cost 10 lakh plus. Okay. Now, at least that was a beautiful bike. It looked amazing. It had clean lines. It looked very pretty. And
It still
I
cost over 10
can't-
lakh.
Yeah, I still can't justify the price
Exactly.
though, because it had a 125cc engine.
10 lakhs.
Guys, 125cc
Plus.
engine,
Yeah.
which has like less than 12, just about 12 horsepower of output. I mean, that's terrible
Yeah.
for a 10 lakh plus bike.
But it's not about the
What are they
engine, right? I
thinking?
mean, it may as well be a paperweight because
Yes,
it's just
it's
going to
got
be a showpiece.
it's got a fancy leather bag at the back or some crap like that. But still, man,
Yeah,
who
man,
pays 10 lakh for a leather bag? I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one is a 155cc Vespa, so it has just shy of 13 horsepower and 12.8 Newton meters of torque. So it's slightly more engaging, but I don't think the people who are buying this are buying it to ride it.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably not.
you're not going to see it down at your local, Nature's Basket
Yeah,
or
you're
the
not.
Rabjis or whatever. It doesn't. I don't know why people are buying this. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you have to realize it's at its roots the idea is Italian. It's all about the design. It's all about the designer. It's all about the exclusivity. And well, if someone wants to buy it, then power to them, man.
Look, Vespa, Christian Dior, Armani, Italian. Italians make things that are beautiful, always beautiful, but they also had Mussolini. This is their Mussolini. So let's just, it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
No, and I agree with you, because it's like, if it is a designer bike, it's supposed to have a certain aesthetic quality to it. It's supposed to be easy on the eye. Like, you're supposed to want to look at it when it's just parked in your living room or whatever.
probably, yeah.
So, but this one is ugly.
But it does have its.
It's ugly.
Christian has put, and his Dior. They've just come there and they've put their stamp on it, and then you have a whole bunch of people who are spoiled brats who say, "I want that," and then they get that, and that's what it is. But it should not be in the motorcycling magazines.
Do you think it's gonna sell that much?
I don't. It should
See.
burn. Does it burn?
Okay, so that's going too far. That's going too
That's
far.
really going too
but
far.
I know the first one, the Emporio Armani one, I remember that one had been booked, and the plan was that the person who had booked it was going to place it in the living room.
Just showcase.
So it was a showpiece. So I guess the people who buy it are not going to ride it, and that to me is tragic.
But
It
how
is.
can
I think
you
to
have
all
the
of us.
gall to just put your stamp on it and said 10 lakhs?
Yeah. No, 10 lakh X showroom. It's a CBU, which means when it comes
Probably
to
be
India,
over 15
it's
lakhs.
going to be ridiculous.
It's
But
probably going to be over 15 lakhs.
You could buy a full-sized adventure bike in that much. You could buy a liter class sport bike in that much. You could buy a full-blown cruiser in that much.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you could buy 5 Royal Enfield Interceptors in that much.
more than, okay, maybe, yeah, 5, yeah. I guess your math is right on that one. But yeah,
For once.
so
Maybe.
for once.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Check it.
No, it's now
But-
gone up to 3.2, so it's a little bit off, but anyway.
Close enough.
So close enough, yeah. But I get what you're saying. I mean, and it just doesn't make sense. So why Vespa? Why?
Well, basically, see,
Just
look,
for
this
the-
motor,
for the fans
this,
of
this
Italian
scooter,
design, man.
yeah, this scooter is not about what you can buy for its price. It's just basically a fashion statement to make. And really, people, please stop making these fashion statements. So Vespa, who is a really good scooter company, stops making nonsense like this. And Christian Dior can stick to the clothing rather
Works.
than making a motorcycle scooter.
No, I have to
Or
agree.
designing the
I think you will also agree with this, as people who are into biking for the
and riding them, not displaying
for
them.
the sense of the freedom and enjoyment and everything that it brings to the table. I mean, Vespa is a good bike. So 150cc Vespa is a fun bike.
Nice,
155cc.
no doubt.
It's an enjoyable bike to ride, and I think the stock one looks pretty enough as it is. Yeah,
Vespa is
you
a
don't
known
need a bloody
company.
stamp
True
to
that.
add value
it's
to
a
it.
fashion statement. It's just a one-off
Yeah.
thing. But does the motorcycle world really? What's the point?
What's the point? I think that's the perfect place to end
And
this.
I mean, if you make it,
He's not
We're not
gonna do
ending
this.
it.
make it. But why are you trying to make us buy it?
Don't buy it, man. It's not for
Obviously
you.
not.
It's not for
But
me. It's not
anyone,
for him. It was not for you.
Who is it for?
Okay, if any of you guys watching this, think
Even
that
consider-
you want to buy it or you can afford it and you're planning on buying it and you booked it or something, please let us know. We really want to talk to you.
Don't let us know because we will send
No.
people after you to lock
He
you
will
up
come-
in a mental home. Are
He
you
will
crazy?
come after you. I will come to talk to you because I'm really interested. Okay? Shh, don't ruin the cover. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you. No violence. I promise. Like promise. So yeah. So anyway,
Talk to him.
let's move on before he loses his stuff and
Yeah, something is
you see
little
the
more
cartoon
interesting.
smokes blowing out of his ears and all that
Let's
shit.
move on to something a little more
So
interesting.
steam rather. But anyway,
A little more
yeah,
powerful.
yeah. Let's go to something more interesting. Anush, what do you have to talk to us about next?
Well, Kawasaki just launched the Ninja 1000 SX Sport Tourer at just under 11 lakhs ex-showroom, which I think is around the same price range as a modern naked middleweight or middleweight sport bike, yeah? And well, it's a lot more practical. You have the wind protection of the fairing. And honestly, when people tell me they want to buy a sport bike and they want to buy the ZX6R and they want to buy a ZX10R, well, I suggest they save their money and buy this. Because if I know it's people who aren't going to be taking their super sport motorcycle to the racetrack, it's quite pointless for the street. You are bent over in a grossly uncomfortable riding position. All your power is way up top. And well, the Ninja 1000 counteracts both those points by having a nice meteor torque curve,
Right.
not needing to rev it to the moon, much more comfortable ergonomics, wind protection when you want to go fast, and it does all this at a very competitive price point. So well, this is the bike I suggest to people who want to go out and buy a fully fed sport bike for the image, for the look.
No, and like you said, this is a sport tourer, so you can kind of take it long distances
Yeah.
as well. It's not just something that you get fried off within 5 minutes of riding it in traffic
Exactly.
in peak afternoon or
It's
whatever.
a very nice motorcycle. It
Even
handles
on the
really
highway,
well.
if you're going to go to Goa for India Bike Week or something like that, you can still ride it.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's a much
fine.
better
You have
bet than a
no-
fully
without your
a fully
back.
committed
Yeah.
super sport.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, but the problem is, Anush, that how will I pretend to be a racer?
It's fine. You're pretending to people who don't know the difference between a sport tourer and a sport bike anyway.
No, but that's the kind of person who wants to buy the ZX. No, unfortunately, it's not people who want to go on track days and want to hone their riding skills on the ultimate
Well,
playground.
it does give you that image, right? It does fulfill that image of having a fully spared
I mean,
big
yeah,
sport bike.
kinda, not all the way, but I get. See, for me, this would make a lot more sense because, as both of you know, I'm not a track guy.
Exactly.
It's not where I feel most comfortable, and touring is what I enjoy. So this would make a lot of sense for me.
Exactly.
But I see why people don't. I don't agree with it, but I see why people don't want to buy it because it's just an image thing again. It's sadly one of those things where they'll go around their colony block for.
In my
10 minutes.
opinion, they'll be a lot more happier on this bike than
They will
a
be
fully
definitely
committed sport bike.
definitely, but this is the less expensive option. This is a less flashy option, and that doesn't work for them because it's all about the image you project. And unfortunately, it's more about they have more money than cranial matter.
Well, that's
So-
fine. Then go ahead and buy a super sport. But if
Yeah.
you want to make the smart choice,
No, but
go ahead
fantastic
and buy a
price,
sport
right?
You
tourer.
want something that you can use on
Exactly,
the daily
exactly.
on a daily basis, which is not going to trouble your body parts, your back, your
Exactly.
head, your legs, your arms.
Especially for our more senior citizens.
True.
Very, very important concern.
It's a much better choice.
Yeah. So I guess we all agree that it's good on Kawasaki to launch it, and it's a very competitive price as well.
And yeah, it is a fantastic price. Like I said, you could buy a middleweight super sport, so you could buy a liter class bike that's even better off in the streets. So it's a no-brainer for me. And well, if you really want something that's as committed and as uncomfortable and as racy, well, and you have that much money, go ahead, take a look at the Ducati Superleggera V4.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Superleggera V4, Zal, Give
Limited
us a lowdown.
edition Superleggera V4.
Right.
Super light, super fast, super committed.
I think that's what Superleggera literally stands for, right? It stands for super light.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
numbers. 234 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
190 Newton meters of torque. Street legal. 234 brake horsepower on the street, which you
And how
can.
much
I
does it
think
weigh?
it's 234 on the track. That's the maximum horsepower you can get.
Okay.
It's 224 on the street, but still, I mean,
It's unusable.
it's nothing.
220.
It's unusable. There's nothing in it. 200, 220, 234. You're not going to know the difference.
Although
honestly.
interestingly, I read somewhere, and by somewhere I mean the press release that Ducati sent us. This is the first mass production, not mass release. They're making only 500,
It's the
but
first
first
street legal.
series production street legal. Very crucially, motorcycle which has carbon fiber components. So what components are we talking about here?
I think everything, frame, wheels, swing arm, isn't everything carbon
Including the fairing.
Yeah, the
And
fairing
including fairing,
has
they
carbon
have-
fiber components too, and there's on the track bike you get this fancy kit where you can change a whole bunch of parts out. You can change the clutch cover, I think, and there's of course put a special titanium Akrapovic exhaust that gives you the extra
That's
power.
not road legal, yeah.
Yeah, that's not road legal. So it's basically insanity on two wheels for
It
me
is, it is.
at
And-
least.
and that
You guys are both track guys, so
That-
this is more for you than for me. Would you ride it?
I'd ride it.
Would
of course.
you ride
I wouldn't
it?
buy it.
Would you ride it? By that I mean, would you ride it?
Yeah, I'd ride it. I'd do my best. I'd give it my
Would you
all.
ride it?
Would I open the gas? This thing?
Yeah. Would you go balls out like you would on your?
I would love
personal
to
bike?
say yes, but probably not.
That's what I was
It takes a
expecting.
big man to say that though.
Yeah.
And
Well,
again,
clearly.
again, but again, who buys this? If you know, if a regular track day goer, someone who can afford a regular track day goer buys it to use it for what it's really built for, it's awesome.
But you're not understanding one very important thing. That's not all you get. The 234 horsepower, crazy mental Widowmaker bike is not all you get when you buy it. You also get something that Ducati call the Superbike Track Day experience.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can ride
I don't
there.
know. I may not be quoting them exactly,
You
but
get to
that's
ride the
basically the
MotoGP
gist
bikes,
of it.
don't you?
You get not just the MotoGP bike. You get to ride the WSBK prepped Panigale R. And that's about 30 owners of the 500 will get that opportunity. I'm sure they vet them and see
Of course.
what their
They
riding
vet.
skills are or
Exactly,
whatever.
exactly.
And you also get to ride the Desmo Sedici. I hope I'm pronouncing it right,
Yeah,
but they're MotoGP
they're
bike
MotoGP
basically.
bike as well, yeah.
So, and they haven't even told us how many people. So it could be just one lucky guy, or it could be all 500 of them. We don't know.
Common man riding
And
a MotoGP bike is
exactly,
a bit
it's
much.
scary.
It's
Oh my
scary to
god, it's
think
scary. And all of this is happening not just at any old track, it's happening at Mugello. So it's going to be a special day out. It's happening in 2021 next year.
of. Unfortunately, we won't be there.
You never know. I mean, Ducati, hopefully they're watching. I
Hopefully.
mean, some of us want to be there, some
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
don't, really don't.
Let's
So, so that's the Superleggera
152
V4.
kilogram lightweight, wet weight.
Dry
Dry
weight,
weight, dry
yeah.
weight. 152 kilo. That's close to the KTM 390.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
That's insane. Like, it would. So, what I'm worried about is, say you lean into a corner, right? You're on the track, you're leaning into a corner at a good nick, okay? You start to straighten out, and as is the habit for most of us, you whack open the throttle to, make the apex and get full drive. I'm worried that if I do that on a bike that light and that psycho, it will just throw me off like a bucking
No, it
bronco.
won't, because that's what the electronics are for, right?
Of course.
Maybe it would on a bike 10 years ago, to a top tier super bike 10 years ago, but now the electronics are so solid. And Ducati's electronics package, in my opinion, is right up there with the best in the market. Unintrusive, yet keeping you safe, saving your back every few moments if you do something stupid.
A little bit of advice, people. If you're going to get a motorcycle with that kind of power, you need to have some idea of what you are doing.
Exactly, what you're
You-
getting yourself into.
Because, yes, even with electronics, which do help you a hell of a lot, but if you're going to be silly and smack open the throttle at a place that you shouldn't, it is going to throw you
It is
off.
Yeah.
going to hurt you.
So you need to know what you're doing to ride these motorcycles to have fun on them. Otherwise, just buy
And
it.
as importantly, you need the right gear, which I think is where
Always.
Ducati have been
Always.
smart here, because not only do you get the track day experience, but you can also possibly pay a little bit more. They haven't been clear about it, but that's how I interpret it. but pay a little bit more and
Yeah.
get
Super
full
leather.
race
Yeah, full
leathers
gear.
V4 leathers,
with
yeah.
their
Carbon fiber
airbag
helmet,
airbag system in place.
Yeah, airbag leather.
In the same livery as the bike, and as you mentioned, a carbon fiber
Carbon
helmet.
fiber
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least they know that people are going to do stupid stuff on that track day, and they're kind of giving them the opportunity to cover themselves a little.
And
Yeah,
it's
but
bespoke.
anyway,
It's bespoke leathers.
You're not
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be, you're not going to be led
Bespoke
onto a racetrack without the proper gear anyway.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, but you don't need airbag laden gear, right?
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. They're giving you the best
They're
of
giving
the
you the
best.
best because they're Ducati,
And
after all.
when I say giving you again, you have to pay for it. I'm guessing. So they're not giving anything.
They are
because-
Ducati after all.
Since they're bespoke leathers, they're going to match their graphics are going to match the
Yeah.
motorcycle, etc. The helmet as well, which means that you're going to have to sell some of your kids. That's the only way you can get this.
Yeah, sell your children into slavery, sell all your kidneys, maybe.
Kids in slavery,
Yeah.
that will get you a proper income, monthly income. Also.
Exactly.
Damn,
So
we cannot
although
put any of the
yeah,
this there.
no, I mean it's fine, it's okay. We're just spitballing. We're not serious. We're really not
No,
serious
don't
about
sell
this,
your
guys.
kids into slavery.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Or end them into slavery, however it is.
Well, let's see how much it costs.
No,
Depending
they
on that.
haven't told us. This is the interesting thing. They haven't told us the price, at least in the press release.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's price on request, so you can call them and ask them.
What is the Desmo Sidici?
No, forget
current,
the
the,
Desmo
the last Desmo Sidici.
The
Forget
Desmo
that, the
Sidici
last
is the
Super
MotoGP
Leggera,
bike,
the
but
last
the
Super Leggera was around 1 crore 10 lakh, if I'm not mistaken.
1 crore 10 lakh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is going to be well over a crore.
yeah, I mean easily.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can afford it,
Sell what you must.
if you can afford it, if you can somehow manage to afford it, all I will say is that invest in adult diapers. You're going to need them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In my
So-
opinion,
Yes?
this is beautiful at that ridiculous price.
It's desirable,
Again,
no doubt.
here
but
comes
no.
the Vespa thing. A Vespa for 10 lakhs, Christian Dior. Super for
Leggera.
yeah, for crore.
No, honestly, if I were to buy a Ducati super bike, I'd be quite happy with the V4 Panigale
Panigale.
S. No, I mean that's just fine.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me once. It's good enough. It's fast enough. It doesn't cost a crore.
These
It's fairly priced.
motorcycles and scooters are for people who just have everything. They
More
don't-
money than brains, like I said.
No, they
Maybe no, actually that's not really fair.
That's
Just
not
they
fair,
have
that's not
enough
fair.
money to indulge in things like this that
both-
we don't. I'm just being bitter because I'm broke, man. Like I mean, can
Like-
you blame
like
me?
most of us, like
Yeah.
most of us.
So yeah, so I guess
if you had the money, would you buy this bike?
No.
If you had the money, throw away, would you buy
No.
this bike?
I would.
Thank you.
I would.
Idiot.
I'd use it too.
Still idiot. Okay, still. You,
yeah, I mean we're in lockdown right now. You can't have track days. It'd be pointless. So yeah, maybe eventually when track days open up, people like you would probably enjoy this kind. Maybe I don't know if you'd enjoy it.
Well, so far all I've been able to afford is a track bike is between RC390.
Right.
So well, yeah.
Yeah,
Lofty
so
aspirations
I
and
mean,
all.
you'd be able to
But if
able
I had
to
the money to
experience
throw away-
it.
if I had the money to
don't
throw
know if
away-
you'd be able to enjoy it.
but these motorcycles and scooters are made
Adult
for
divers.
basically anyone who
But I'll
wants
enjoy it.
something that no one else has.
Yeah, it's all about the
That's it.
exclusivity.
Yeah, exclusivity. You and me, we don't understand it because we've never been in that
Yeah.
bracket.
And
in that
but
club.
Never been in that club, and I doubt we ever will be. However, I guess, moving along.
Okay, let's just move
Let's
on.
move along. Something
Okay.
a little more practical.
Yeah, Anush, back to your travels to exotic far lands.
Oh, again.
Yeah, you were gone away to ride the BMW Motorrad F900R
And
and its
XR.
XR sibling.
Yes.
So, where did you go? What is the ride like? And it's in India now, so we'll come to the price in a bit.
Where did we go? We went to Spain,
Spain.
didn't we?
Yeah, you went to Spain.
Can't remember where I'm going these days. Don't know whether I'm coming or
You
going.
know, like high flyer, man.
Yeah, so
What do
the
you want me to
XR.
say? He's like
The
Mr.
R in the
Worldwide.
XR.
Pitbull. He's the Indian
Okay,
Pitbull.
okay, no. Get back to the point. The motorcycles are
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, let's start with the R first.
Yeah, let's start with
Explain,
the
what
R.
is the R?
Uh, the R is BMW's entry into the naked middleweight class. So it goes up against bikes like established bikes again, like the Triumph Street Triple, the Japanese entries like the Z900, the GSX-S 750, and the new recently launched the 790 Duke.
Right.
And honestly, well, it's a tough order. These are well-established competition. The Street Triple does what it does really well.
Oh yeah, I love that. bike.
KTM does what it does really, really well. And well, the F900R comes across a little more as a. It makes less power than these. Let's get that out there. It makes sense as a practical street bike. Ride around the city, hoon around is BMW's new Roadster. It may not be as sharp as the Street Triple, it may not be as hooligan-like as the KTM, but it could find its niche, especially amongst buyers who want, the BMW badge on their motorcycle.
Right. So buyers of a certain age who reached
Exactly.
a certain point
Well,
of a certain age.
Well,
is
no,
a twin.
BMW are hopefully targeting the young crowd. They did say they want to target the young crowd with the R.
Okay, it's interesting you say that because the R costs 9.9 lakh ex-showroom according to my paper here. So that's just under 10 lakh.
But again,
who
that's the-
earns enough?
That's the
which
that's
youngster
the,
earns
that's
enough
the
to pay
entry.
that
The
kind of
youngsters
money?
who are otherwise buying Street Triples, youngsters who are
Okay,
otherwise
that
buying, naked.
But isn't the
middleweight
Street
bikes.
Triple a little bit cheaper than this? If I'm not very much
No, it's a
mistaken.
bit more expensive. isn't it?
We can find out. So
Street Triple, I
yeah.
think, is
talk amongst yourselves while I look up the price.
11, 12 ex-showroom, isn't it?
So while I'm looking up the price, why don't you talk about the XR and how it's different from the R? Let the ladies and gentlemen know.
Well, the XR, if you ask me, is the more practical version of the two. It has a little more ground clearance, has a little more suspension travel, it has wind protection, and honestly, with its slightly wider handlebar and its slightly shorter trail due to a different offset being used for the front fork, I found it to actually turn in and be a better handling than its naked Roadster cousin, which is odd since you would expect the naked Roadster to be the snappier one. I honestly found the XR to be a much better handler.
That is odd because I mean it doesn't make sense.
Like I
on
said, a
paper.
wide handlebar, shorter trail.
Right.
It's done it.
Weird that.
I mean, I would have honestly liked. We did ride through some mountains. We did ride through some really narrow canyons, narrow roads, tight canyons. And yeah, the R goes where you want to, but I felt it asked for a little too much effort considering it's a naked middleweight.
Right.
It took a little. It had to ask it a little more
You had to
sternly.
muscle it in.
get into a corner and go where I wanted to. So I would have expected it to be a lot more effortless. And when I got on the XR later that day, I was surprised to see that actually ticked that box better than the naked bike.
Interesting.
It's strange, BMW.
So how much is the Street Triple?
Okay, so Street Triple, the S is for 9.2 ex showroom. So that's about 70,000 cheaper than
But
this.
the S is done, right? The S
Yeah,
is
the S is out.
BS4,
The,
S is
the
out.
RS is 11.13, but again,
Exactly.
these are pre BS6 prices. So this is just
Exactly.
a ballpark. Don't quote us on this.
Yeah, so the Street Triple is a little more expensive.
Yeah,
and
the RS is more expensive, but
No,
is-
but that's the
the
base
RS
bike.
is more.
That's the base bike. You can't buy the base bike from BMW. You have your add-ons, you have your rider modes, you have your electronic suspension, all of this which you got to buy separately.
Right.
And that's gonna, if you ask me, push the price of the R, a little higher than the price of the Street Triple RS.
Okay.
I'd say it'll probably be around 14 X showroom. I'm just guessing, just spitballing here, but I guess it'll be around 14 X showroom.
Probably.
And the more options you ask for, it's
The higher the price
higher
is
the price is
Don't
gonna
you
go.
think that BMW have three motorcycles that are in a very, very similar zone,
Which
area? Well, okay, so the F 900 XR is, as you said, a little stilted. A bit similar to the S 1000 XR. All right, it's their twin version of that.
Okay.
But wasn't the F 750 GS also more road biased rather than?
It was actually, I
and
thought
more
the same
comfortable
thing.
riding
But then
position,
again, these are the bikes, the 900s are replacing that old 850cc engine,
okay.
which was
This
powered
is
with
what they
750
want
and
to
850
be
GS.
there next.
So this is where they are going.
Okay.
They probably will up the 850 GS with this motor as well. We'll have a 900 GS perhaps.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. These bikes are totally on road. They run on 17-inch alloy wheels. They are totally for on road use.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. And since you brought up the S1000 XR, that's another segment altogether.
Yeah,
That
but
is,
they're fairly similar. But like the F750 GS was also
The concept may be similar.
Yeah.
But the class of buyer is going to be way different.
Of course.
It's
of course.
basically different roads to the same
Yeah.
destination.
Yeah.
Exactly. While the 900 GS is priced, where we said between say 10 and 15 lakh, the S1000 XR isn't even been launched in India yet, and it's probably going to be closer to 20. Okay, that one.
Yeah, it's
Okay, it may be a 100cc more, but there's also 2 more cylinders.
Yeah.
And it makes a whole lot more power.
Yeah.
I think you could say 50-60% more power.
Yeah.
And the buyer BMW are focusing on with that bike in international markets.
You rode that too.
Yes, I did ride that as well. So although it isn't coming here, BMW let me have a day with it. So that was nice. And it is while the 900s feel very manageable and friendly and entry level friendly, the S1000 XR is not to be trifled with. It is proper big bike fast, right? I think we're talking about 140 odd horsepower, just off the top of my head. That's no joke. No, it's probably more actually. I'm sorry. It's the S1000RR engine. It's going to be over 150 horsepower, even in this state of tune,
Yeah.
relaxed state of tune, without the shift cam system. It doesn't rev to the moon like the S1000RR, but it's still a lot of engine.
Right.
It easily surpassed 220 kilometers per hour in
Yeah.
one short stretch between corners in a hilly area. We
Wow.
weren't even out on the motorway,
Right.
where we were sticking to speed limits.
Of course.
So on
okay,
a back road,
so
on
let's
a back
get
road,
back.
it could go that quick. It's definitely a much quicker bike. And as I was saying, it's BMW are targeting guys who have ridden super bikes and well gotten sick of the riding position, who want maybe now are entering their 40s, their 50s, who have spent enough time on the S1000RR or
40s, 50s.
other committed motorcycles, other committed 1000cc fast motorcycles, and want to retain that heavy engine,
Right.
retain that sharp handles really well, and will have a nice comfortable riding position.
So the same character but toned down a little.
Yeah, exactly. It is a sport tourer,
Right.
more than an adventure bike. Everything people calls it adventure sports or whatever, but it is a sport tourer masquerading a bit, a street going sport tourer masquerading a bit as an adventure bike.
Okay, so this is interesting because we spoke about the Kawasaki Ninja 1000 SX, which is essentially a sport tourer as well. Only it has the fairing to go with it.
It has the
over
sporty.
and
It's a bit more
Yeah.
sporty. It has more of a sporty
So
look.
with that coming in at 10.79 lakh, which is maybe a little bit more expensive than the XR over here.
Exactly.
It makes for an interesting dichotomy.
Which
where-
is why I always direct people to the Ninja 1000 because it is so much bang for your buck.
You also
Right.
have the Versys in that category then.
Yes,
Versys
you do.
also
The
road-
Versys, yes,
road
exactly,
cars.
exactly. You do. Again, like similar to the more closer to the
To
XR,
XR,
but again, it costs maybe well, I wouldn't say half, but it costs a fair bit less than the BMW. Again, the bad of a BMW motorcycle is a little
Paying for the
is
badge.
different. He is paying for that blue and white roundel,
Yeah.
right? And let's also be fair. The BMWs do give you a lot more in the terms of
Super,
componentry.
yeah.
In the terms of the electronics package,
Yeah,
the connectivity package,
Yeah.
although everyone's got these options,
Yeah.
the BMW does feel premium.
Yeah.
If you look at the plastics, the switches, it is going to feel more premium.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're going to have to enjoy the ride on a budget. You wouldn't look at the German brand, you'd look at the Japanese brand, but would do it really well. And if you can afford the BMW, why
Go for
not?
it. Right. So I guess that covers the BMW 900s, and they're here in India, and we're always very happy when there are new premium bikes in India. I think
Absolutely.
So welcome to the new BMWs, and let's move on to the next topic of discussion, which is something that I have been dying to talk about because it concerns my favorite genre of motorcycle.
Oh God.
Yes, it's cruisers. Okay, I love cruisers. These guys don't see it, but I love cruisers. I think they're awesome. But this is not your average, ordinary, everyday, friendly neighborhood cruiser. This is the Indian FTR, which I know you really love, but an electric version of the
They're
FTR.
taking aim at Harley Davidson and the Live Wire. aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So they have patented the EFTR name, which obviously means they're going to go the electric route, which is an interesting, I think, path they've taken, especially EFTR.
Like the
Eftar.
Come on, man.
Yes, FTR. Sure, go
Why
with it.
would they? What is EFTR stand
The
for?
FTR, man, like the FTR, but EFTR, yeah.
Oh, okay, FTR.
So
The uptake, isn't
yeah,
it?
a little bit. He's getting advanced in the years. It's past his bedtime. Maybe you can let it go. Come on, yeah. It's fine. So anyway,
Remember
coming
the
back
FTR,
to
yes,
the,
yes, I
coming
wrote it.
back to
Yes.
I wrote
okay,
it.
enough.
Yes.
Let's get back to the EFTR.
we liked
okay?
it.
We really liked it. We really liked
I
the
must not
stock
like
FTR.
an electric FTR though.
No. So this is interesting because I have gone on exotic travels this time around.
Yes, you have.
To ride the live wire. I went to Portland, Oregon, which doesn't sound very
you
fancy.
quite enjoyed the
I loved the
Live
live wire,
didn't you? Everyone who rode it did actually.
It was insanity. Like I did not expect that kind of linear power, and just that kind of straight out performance from a naked electric bike like that, and it was amazing.
Just talk all the way. Just
Yeah.
talk all the way.
I mean,
You
talk
was-
from essentially zero, and that is just
Sorry, you were saying that
mind-blowing.
it's a very heavy bike also, but you don't
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
the
So,
weight when
so
you're...
the weight, what they've done is they've put the battery stacks and the motor, the electric motor,
The
right
heaviest-
at the
heaviest
bottom,
bits.
the heaviest components as far in the bottom as they can to create a very positive center of gravity situation. And that really works because when you're like when you're pushing the bike with your feet to park it in or whatever,
Must feel like
you
it weighs
feel
a
the
ton,
weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're out, and as soon as the motor is going, it's just and I have to say motor because it's not an engine, it's an electric motor. And of course, it's Moroccan, so it has to be motor regardless. So anyway, so yeah, Indian have the live wire in their crosshairs, but the question is, do they? Because Harley Davidson have gone through an upheaval of sorts of late. Their previous MD is out, the new dude is in. New dude is from Puma, the sporting brand.
Yeah.
He resurrected them and brought them
and
from
he
the
plans
brink.
to shake things up at Harley Davidson.
Exactly. But the thing is that the previous guy had this idea of more roads to Harley Davidson, where they were doing things like this, and the Bronx and the
Bronx
Pan
and the Pan
America,
America,
which
yeah.
again I was really looking forward to, which
Yeah.
you saw in EICMA,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was really looking forward to riding because it's a naked bike from Harley. We've never seen
Yeah,
that
we've
before.
never seen
Yeah.
that before. New segment.
And I mean, they've had their street line of bikes, but they're still kind of cruiser-ish.
They're cruisers, yeah.
This was a pure out and out naked bike, and the Pan America, it was the first
Adventure bike by
adventure
Harley, yeah.
tourer bike that didn't look like it was derived from the GS series.
Exactly.
Everything else seems to have drawn inspiration from there in some way, shape, or form. This looked like a Jeep
Something
on two
new,
wheels.
yeah, it looked like something new.
It looked
Yeah.
crazy and out there, and I really wanted to get my hands
But
on
now
it.
we don't know when that's happening, do we?
Yeah, apparently the launches have been pushed back, which is unfortunate. I know, COVID-19 pandemic, world coming into an end, zombie apocalypse, whatever you want to call it. Things are messed up right now, but apparently Harley are going to consolidate markets that they're strong in right now.
Rather than looking at new roads.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
new
new
roads is
markets.
out. It's called Rewire now.
Yeah.
And Rewire would lead you to believe that electric is still a focus, but the noises we're hearing from them say that it's not the case. Now, Harley haven't come out and openly stated that no, this is what we're doing, but this is what we understand
hear
from
from
the
them soon.
yeah. So it just seems like a step back. Yeah, I was really looking forward.
I know.
to
They were diversifying into
Yeah.
different markets, into different segments. But well, the new guy at the helm kind of feels they need to look at their values and work on their core values and strengthen those. So well, it's his call, I guess.
But as much as it pains me to say this, the cruiser world is dying. I mean, there's no two ways about it. There's no getting around it. In the US, Harley numbers have just been dropping
They have
and
been
dropping and
dropping,
dropping
they have
year
been
on year. So it seems like and the newer market, especially in the more mature countries abroad, in your Europes and your Americas, they're not looking at cruisers anymore. That phase is gone, and in fact there was a time where in Harley's history where I think it was President Reagan who kind of bailed them out
Yeah, yeah.
at one point in time.
Yes.
So that they don't have bailouts available to them anymore. So it's an interesting time for them, and I thought it was time. It was a perfect time for a change. In fact, maybe slightly late,
Yeah,
but
we
still
were looking forward to
The
seeing new
Livewire
products
was a
from
very
Harley Davidson.
promising.
Yeah,
It
it was.
the
It was.
only
Everyone-
really good production.
It's the only one in the
electric-
world, and
yeah.
everyone who rode it really,
Yeah,
really
really
liked,
liked
it,
it.
including Harkit.
Yeah, I loved it. If I could afford it, I'd have bought one by
And
now.
if Harkit likes something, please make it because
So
it's very rare.
I'm very picky. Yeah. So what I want to say with the Livewire is that it was a step in the right direction. And you feel like they've taken that step, and now they're taking
They've
a step
taken
back.
a step
Yeah.
back.
Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? We're looking forward to the Pan America. We're looking forward to the
Well,
Bronx.
we don't know
Make it
what they're doing
happen.
yet. We haven't received official word yet.
So please let us know.
Yeah, we're
okay,
looking forward
because
to knowing what's
rumors
going on.
are flying around, and we're not stopping them, as you can clearly see. So, and you know what's cool? A flat tracker
An FTR
with the
competitor.
900 Revolution Max platform that you see on the Bronx to go up against the FTR,
Yes.
which I think would be awesome.
would be awesome. Yeah, it would be
Please
awesome.
do that.
I mean,
Please do that.
So, of course, all of this is speculation right
Include
now.
yourself.
So all of this is speculation right now. Okay, we don't know for sure. Okay, the information that I got, it comes from this shareholder circular that was sent out that I pulled up online.
Okay.
So it's not completely out of the blue. The whole plan to push back the launches is
Yeah,
real.
it is real. The
We
fact
don't know
that
how
there is
far.
being a revamp is real.
Yeah,
no
the
doubt.
Rewire project is a real thing. It's just we don't know how far they're going to push things back. So
And we know they're looking back at the cruiser world again.
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
Which I don't know seems
Which
a little
is-
pointless to
yeah.
us, but then what do we know?
It seems, yeah,
we
we-
aren't MDs and chairmen. so-
Exactly, we haven't pulled Puma from the brink, so
Exactly.
I mean, what do we know?
Exactly.
But please let us know, yeah. Give us a little bit of clarity, Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I've been. These guys don't.
No,
care that
I was
much,
looking
but-
forward to
Yeah.
nice street bikes. I enjoyed the FTR 1200 from Indian
Yeah.
with its brash, angry nature, and
Right.
something from Harley like that would be nice.
No, and it was awesome because also for the first time with the launch of the Lowrider S in India, Harley gave us power figures, and they gave us power figures for the live wire as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it looked like they were finally coming into
But is
the
that gonna-
21st
is that going to
century.
stop now?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. So I mean, we need answers. Come on, give us answers.
Yes.
Answers, please. On a
But you-
postcard, whatever.
You were talking
So-
about the Pan America's
Right.
look, the design. There is another bike that has been confirmed that they would like to go into production with it, which looks similar-ish,
Talking
very
about
different.
something Scandinavian.
Yes.
I know what this is
Husqvarna.
The Norden, yes.
The Norden 900.
I saw that in
It's-
person as well.
I know,
At
I
Taiwan,
know, I know.
and it does
Yeah,
look
yeah.
quite
Stop
nice.
rubbing it in.
does
We
look
know you
quite
travel
nice.
across the world. We know you have lots of miles.
yes, miles.
That bike is, yeah, and they say
Yeah.
it's going to be lighter than the 790.
It's going to
Adventure.
be powered
It
by
looks-
that engine.
Same
Yeah.
engine,
Yeah.
but lighter than the 790
Let's
Adventure.
see.
Well, again, yeah, we'll see.
On in pictures, on paper, it looks
Lovely.
very tasty.
Very, very
Like I want to get my hands on it. But I guess we'll just have to wait till Husqvarna establishes their presence in
Well, we
India.
don't even have the 790 Adventure here,
Yeah.
so that's going to be a.
This is
That's
it's
a
a
stretch.
long way into the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
Yep.
We haven't even got our hands on the 250
But we
Swat
will-
Pillion
we will
and
be.
Vic Pillion.
We
We
will
will
be
be.
soon.
Oh yeah, we will be. So watch
Very
out for
soon, next
that.
week.
So yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, we haven't really seen anything from Husqvarna yet at the time of recording.
True that.
So I think
Norton will see
Norden
when the metro is ready.
Yeah.
I think this is the same time.
Yeah, basically yeah.
Similar time.
So I guess also KTM. Speaking of KTM Husqvarna, the 490 twin platform is coming to India.
Yeah, it will be
So-
manufactured in
Manufactured.
India.
Exactly.
I don't think we're
So-
going to see anything before 2020 to 2023.
No, it'll take some time.
no,
But the
more,
fact
more.
that
At least.
23 minimum.
regardless, the fact that it's coming to India is awesome in itself.
Yes.
Because I think Rajiv Bajaj had once said that we won't sell anything in India that's not made in India. And if they're making bikes on the 490 platform in India, that means they're going to sell in India logically, based on what Mr.
For all of
Bajaj
you that
said.
don't know, KTM's 490 platform is going to be their second twin cylinder platform after the 790. So we are looking at the entry level Dukes, like the 390 Dukes being replaced by twin cylinder motorcycles now. The Duke, the RC, perhaps an adventure. Yes, sir?
Maybe.
Is it the second?
They
Yeah,
only have one
twin.
twin so far.
1290?
V twin,
Ah.
inline twin is what I'm talking
Inline
about.
twin. Huh.
So the 790 was KTM's first inline twin platform, and
Yeah.
they basically with crafty machining and crafty
Yeah.
designing of their crank pin offsets and firing order, kind of been able to replicate the
So witchcraft,
the
basically.
gruff, just not really witchcraft. I mean,
Well,
just
I mean, sure, you can go all nerdy on it. I just like to call it witchcraft. It
What
makes
do you
things
think
easier.
they would
they've
like
been able
to?
to they've been able to replicate the rorty feel
Right.
of the V twins.
Hmm.
So
What bike do you think they would be aiming at with that 490?
Well, I guess entry level twin cylinder motorcycles, like you have the Ninjas, you have the Z400, which you don't have in India.
Yeah.
So do we expect it to be priced above the Royal Enfield 650 twins?
Yes.
Or in
Yes,
that
I think
ballpark-
so. I
ballpark?
think it would be because the
Considering
Duke
it's been built
390
in
is
India,
the same
considering
price
it's
as
been built in
the.
India,
Hmm.
won't be as expensive as it is abroad, definitely, but it's still gonna be more expensive than the 650s, I think.
See, the way I
The
look at it,
650s are the
But
same
it's also
price
gonna
as the
be
390.
It's also going to
at
be a
the-
lot more modern, right?
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
be
they're
a
the
lot
same
more modern,
price as
right?
the 390 at the moment. So unless Royal Enfield come up with something and they price that, it won't fall in the same price bracket.
yeah,
That's for sure.
So maybe one rung above, I
Yeah.
think would
Yeah.
be the place to expect the 490s to come in. So I think that's pretty good
Well,
news.
still way cheaper than the Ninja 400, which it would probably go up against.
Oh yeah.
Right, that is over 5 lakhs extra.
And maybe
in
even
India.
I think wasn't the R3 also ridiculously priced
Yeah,
before it went out of
exactly,
production.
exactly.
So yeah, so this will
it's going to be
probably
more
be
advanced than those bikes. It's probably going to be more powerful than those bikes. Knowing KTM, it's going to have later electronics, judging by what they're putting on their Dukes right now. So yeah, I think it will be a good deal though.
so it won't eat into the Chennai Brit market, but it will eat into the Japanese market,
Probably.
I guess, right? So speaking of Chennai, Anush, what have you been riding this week?
You rode it too.
I did ride it too,
TVS RTR 200 4V, the BS6 version with that new headlight, which I don't know if I really agree with.
I like it.
I like it.
Okay, I preferred the.
You're
the
outvoted.
BS4.
Your opinion doesn't
That's
matter.
fine. That's fine. It's a little,
Move on.
It's a little new age for me.
How does
See
it feel?
from a different angle, na, than all of us.
Yeah,
Oh, shut
that's also true.
It's just a little new age and flat faced for me.
Right.
But it's alright. It's fine. I've always liked the RTR 200.
RTR 200. How is it different from the
It's,
previous generation?
It's not that different to ride. It still uses the same riding position, the same frame, the same motor with BS6 compliance. That's kind of strangled it a little bit. It's got a little new electronics. You have connectivity options now.
Yes, Bluetooth connectivity, which I really
Yeah.
enjoyed.
So
but
that's a practical
we
addition.
struggled to get it going
yeah,
the
get
first
it
time
going,
around.
right?
It's a little bit complicated. I think you can get the showroom people to help you out the first time around, and once it's connected,
And once it's connected with your phone, right,
Yeah.
you don't do it again and
But
again.
it
That is
did
the
take
first time.
it did take a little bit of effort. So I just wanted to put that out there. But once it's in place, it's pretty cool. It tells you how much battery your phone has,
Brilliant.
the
It's
messages you
brilliant.
got, missed calls,
Very
Navigation.
turn by turn navigation, which
And
is
turn by
awesome.
turn navigation also very simple. 100 meters, go
Yeah.
right. 50 meters, go right. Go right. You know, just
Or left.
Basic,
I mean, there are
basic.
two ways you can
We
go.
had to go right. No, that's more than 100, 100. But still, but it's
Why?
very simple, very easy to read, and all you really need in navigation, you know.
No, so what I liked about it, apart from the navigation, was it retains the same flickability of the
That's the
200,
most important. That's the most important
which
to
makes
me.
it a hoot to ride in the city because you can just carve through
You can
traffic
carve through wherever you want.
and kind of just turn in on a dime, and it's fun to ride.
The riding position is a nice compromise. It is a bit sporty. If you have
Yeah.
long legs,
Yeah.
if you're stupidly tall and have long legs, you're going to be a bit cramped. You're going to be a little forward biased.
Yeah.
But that's nice if you're a young chap and you want a slightly aggressive motorcycle on a budget. That's reasonably quick. And speaking of quickness,
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because you do all our testing.
yes, so
all
I
our
tested the
performance
bike,
testing.
and well, we haven't got many BS6 bikes in to test yet. We expect a slight loss in performance since they
Yeah.
are a little heavier.
Yeah.
The engines might be a little, compromised, let's say, with the emission norms.
Yeah.
I would expect about a second slower to 100 kilometers an hour, maybe a second slower to 400-meter mark.
Right.
And the new RTR is about 2 seconds slower than its predecessor.
That's significant.
Yes, so I don't know.
That's 200.
That's to 100, that's to a quarter mile. 100 kilometers an hour comes about at, I think, 118 or something kilometers an hour, true speed. So it's about that. But I expected the gap, the rift between this and the outgoing bike to be a little less.
Right.
Especially considering that TVS do pride themselves on being a performance-oriented company with a rich racing heritage. Hopefully, the performance gains or lack of it with this bike could be fixed with remap with future editions.
Right.
It's not that much. I mean, you wouldn't really feel it when you're riding.
No,
It
it's
still
not.
feels nice
It's not
and
too
peppy.
significant. It
But
feels like
since-
a fun bike.
But since we do test the bikes
Yeah.
with the professional testing gear, we do get very accurate figures. And well, while the old RT200, I think, hit 100 kilometers an hour in about 12 seconds or so, this one's taken about a second and a half longer, about 13.6 seconds, I think, to 100, which I felt was could be better.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, not many people will try to push the bike from 0 to 100 in the quickest time possible. But on paper, you want it's a desire thing, right? You
Exactly,
want that
exactly.
you want that performance. You want to be able to brag about it.
Exactly.
You want to be able to know in the back of your head that the bike is capable of it, even
Exactly.
if you're not capable of it.
Exactly.
So no, I get where you're coming from. I mean, people would be slightly disappointed, maybe, with the drop in performance, but it's part of the world we live in now
But it's
with
not a
the
drop of
BS6.
performance that they'd really feel.
They wouldn't really
They
feel
wouldn't
it. They wouldn't really feel it. The bike
But
still
I
feels
know,
great.
I know what you mean
Seems like
because
a lot
you
of
also
fun.
tested the Himalayan BS6, and
Yeah, and the
the
Himalayan
differences
BS6
were
was,
very minute.
was barely half a second slower
Yeah.
to 100 than the BS4 Himalayan.
Yeah.
To be
So
fair,
that's
the
what we were looking-
Himalayan has always been, the engine hasn't been in a
It hasn't
sharp
been very
steno
high
tune.
strung, yeah, no doubt.
It's always been very relaxed. So
But
you wouldn't
even
expect
the
that drop
200
to be
RTR
that.
engine was never a screamer. It
Yeah.
was always, it had a nice mid-range leading up to the red line, but it never, makes max power at 8,500 RPM, while its limiter is at over 10,000
Yeah.
RPM. So that 200 odd RPM there is, it used to flatten out anyway, which is fine. It's just,
It flattens out a lot quicker this time.
yes, it just feels like it flattens out a little quicker.
So, well, I think on the flip side of it, the fact that it's got the new age technology and the connectivity is something that the youngsters will
We'll
kind of
definitely
maybe
connect
be
with.
drawn to.
We'll definitely connect with.
So, and at the end of the day, like we said, the performance is just essentially an on-paper thing. You won't really be able to feel it, you know, at your wrist or.
If you're in the market for 200cc motorcycle, it's a great.
It's a great
It
bike.
is,
It's a
it
great
is.
bike. Yeah.
It
So
is.
don't be discouraged by what we're saying. We're not saying it's a bad
We
bike.
like
at
the
all.
bike a lot.
love
We
the
like
bike.
the bike. We just bring to the fore that
Yeah,
the
we just-
BS6
Complete honesty.
norms seem to have hit TVS a little hard.
But
And
how-
another thing that BS6 has brought to the table. Sorry, what were you going to say before
I was
I
going to
jump?
say that segment is very competitive.
Oh yeah, it's rife with interesting and fascinating and fun options. So, and you get everything, something different for the money you put on. There are some bikes that are more practical,
The kind
some
of
bikes that
riding
are
you
more
Well, this is the most sporty.
relaxed.
if you
Yeah,
ask
this
me.
is the most
This
sporty.
is the
one.
most sporty.
Yeah, regardless of drop-in performance, as it were,
Exactly.
it's not really a drop, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's still the sportiest offering off the lot. So I think in that
Definitely the
space,
best
TVS will
handle.
still retain.
Definitely
Oh
the
yeah,
best
it handles like a champ. So I guess another thing that I wanted to talk about, I know I said this is the last topic of conversation, but it's the cat cons, which you notice on this, you notice on like the Javas with the thing at the bottom, and it's just something that's a reality in today's day and age because of the BS6 norms, but it's making bikes look a little bit uglier.
Yeah, well, I'm sure designers.
They've designed
manufacturers-
something for it.
The
in
designers,
future.
manufacturers will
Take
try
that
and
into consideration.
camouflage that bulging exhaust vent pipe as much as they can.
Catcons will improve also with technology. They will have new technology coming out to make everything a little more
Yeah,
streamlined.
well, with this current generation, yes,
Current
it does,
generation,
it does
yes.
look a little. It does look a little
The
ugly.
first wave of BS6 bikes all have these ugly things.
Yeah.
Because they
on
are
the
things that
exhaust
needed to be
system,
done.
so-
They are not a redesign of the bike itself. Once they come up with a new model,
Probably.
then they will.
But they will
design
still
it
need the
properly.
catcons. They'll still
Yeah.
need the
Of course,
catcons.
but they will design
Maybe
it in a way
streamline
where
them
it's-
to fit in better or make it look
exactly.
more subtle.
It'll
or
fit in
hopefully.
better.
Yeah.
These are the bikes that we are seeing now are just BS6 compliant variants.
Yeah.
They're not a different motorcycle.
Yeah.
They're the same motorcycle, but they're slapped on. So hence, that's the reason
Yeah.
why they had to do it.
No,
by
it
law.
makes sense. I just wanted to point out that if you notice that the bikes are looking not as appealing or have these weird blotches around, then this is why.
That's what it is.
It's because
Yeah.
you're saving the environment.
Yeah.
Very important.
The polar bears will thank you. And I think that's very important.
Don't wait for that. They might eat you.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, don't
polar
go
bears.
up to them and expect them to thank you. Don't take our words literally, please, for God's sake. But yeah, polar bears in their heads will thank you. They'll send you prayers and stuff. So I guess that about covers it
think
for this
that's
week.
it.
I think we spoke a lot. I think
Yeah.
we all need a
What's
sip of
new?
water or two.
What's
What's new? So I think we just call it a day. I hope you guys are still watching and haven't got bored by now.
I hope you look forward to the next
We
one.
certainly haven't. Yeah. So let us know, because this is our first ever episode, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, what you didn't like, what you did like. We'll try to tweak it to make it more interesting for you guys, because we want this to be a regular thing.
Let us know what you would like to hear about. in the
Yeah,
comment
I mean, if
section.
you have topics of conversation that you want us to bring up, if you have bikes you want us to ride, maybe we've already ridden them, so just let us know, man. The comment section's
Yeah.
there. It's free, you don't need to pay for it. So just go for it, man. So, and yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
ya.